Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Addie Bell if you're new here, and I do makeup and beauty videos, and I have recently just changed up my studio a little bit, so I am getting back into videos, and hopefully you will join me here every week. So today I want to do an everyday makeup bag look, or just if you haven't started building your makeup bag, maybe just things that you would need for everyday makeup looks that are easy and quick and would work really well for you in terms of going to work or whatever you do on your day-to-day basis. So I'm all about makeup not costing too much and not having too much makeup, but in general, this video is showing what I think all you need for makeup if you are just genuinely just you know, wear it every day for work. So here is my makeup bag. Here is everything that I am going to be putting on my face, and I'll link the bag as well. My husband got me these for Christmas maybe this year, and there's only like 12 products in here, so like I said, it is going to be more of a simple everyday makeup routine. The first thing I like to do when I'm getting started with makeup is to do some color correcting. So you can kind of see I have a little darker shadow here. I do have dark circles up here. And so what I found that helps really correct those darker colors that I don't want is this Pro Conceal. It's from LA Girl, and you, depending on your skin tone, you can get certain colors. So I have more of like a bluish gray going on here, and so the bluish gray, this like it's kind of like a pinky peach color. Let's see, does it give a color? Peach corrector, yeah. So that really helps. I just put it in the corners here on both eyes, and then I put it on the just shadowy areas here. It has a weird tip. There we go. It has a weird like brush tip that you've got to squeeze out. That is not always the most sanitary of things to do, but it does do the tricks. Either. Normally I do put my hair up, but it's looking good today, and I don't know, I decided not to. So if you get annoyed at me touching my hair all the time, that's why I'm touching my hair, to keep it out of my face. The next thing that I do, which I probably should have done first, is a sunscreen. I have been testing this Super Goop Glow Screen, and I love it as a primer because it has a really nice glow to it. I also put this on with my hands. And unfortunately with sunscreen, you're supposed to be using a lot, and so this is not going to last me very long. And the cost for this glow screen, with how fast I'll go through it, is probably not something I will buy again, but I have really loved it. So if you're looking for a primer slash sunscreen, this is exactly what you need, because once I get this all on, I'll show you how shiny and glowy it makes my skin. And if you like that look, this is definitely something for you, because you could just put this on. I mean, look at that. Look at the highlight. You could just wear this without foundation, really, and it would kind of give you that glow that you might need, depending on what your skin looks like. It doesn't really have a color to it. It just kind of makes your face look glowy. But I find that it looks really good underneath a foundation. So like I said, this is what I would put on every day. So you always want a sunscreen. I like to do a quick color corrector, but if you don't have any shadows, that wouldn't even be necessary. Maybe as you get older, you might want one. And then the next thing I do is a foundation. Primer isn't really necessary, I don't think, for an everyday look, but it's really nice when a sunscreen can be the primer, then your makeup can last a little bit longer. So what I love, I've been loving the combination of the Super Goop and then putting this Rare Beauty foundation on top. The Rare Beauty foundation is a little bit more of a drying formula, and so I can just put that on top of this glow. It kind of calms down. Like, I'm really shiny right now. If you look around at my skin. So I can take this, a little bit more of a drying formula, a little more matte maybe is what I'm looking to say. And so it kind of calms the glow, but that sunscreen still can work as a primer. So I only have to dip into this one time, and I just dot it all around my skin. And just so that when I start blending it, I don't have to pull it across my skin. And so that is all you have to use. And then I do like to use a damp beauty blender to get that to go all over my skin. And the glow from the glow screen hasn't gone away yet. So if you look, if I go back and forth, I need to blend that a little bit more, but if you go back, you can kind of still see the glow on my skin, but it's just not as intense as that glow screen makes it out to be. All right, so I mean, you can see I have a lot of lines here, and so concealer is just not my best friend, but I do think it helps to highlight and to brighten around the area. So I just try to use a very little amount. Sometimes I will only put it on my ring finger and just rub that around and put it in the corners and the inner and the outer corner underneath my eye. I just think it helps brighten and kind of helps that color corrector that I used before to blend into my skin and not be too pink. That is all I do for concealer. You really depends on, I mean, makeup is just so dependent on what you look like, what your skin looks like, but I think that we see these YouTubers putting just gobs of concealer on, but what you're not thinking about is the lighting that they have in their room, and how, yes, it looks very good in the lighting, but if you're going to work every day and you're working under the lights, the fluorescent lights, that's all going to show up. So you really just want concealer to maybe highlight and brighten a little bit, and just not look just goopy under your eyes and just make your makeup look worse. So we have foundation, we have concealer and color corrector. Those can kind of be the same things. The other thing that I do is just clean up my eyebrows a little bit. I don't fill them in because they are very dark, but I do like to kind of set them for the day. And so I've really been enjoying this Refy, I could flip that around, Refy Beauty eyebrow wand. I don't know if that would be the specific word, but it's eyebrow gel, and it's also got like a brush and a comb on the other side. So what I do is I start out with the gel and I just make sure I get it through all of the hair. I get there's this other end here, and so on the end you can see that there's a brush side and then there's a comb side. So I always use the brush side first, and that kind of does what, like if you saw anybody that laminates their eyebrows, that's what this does. It just pushes down my eyebrows, and it does get that glue to go all the way through. So Refy Beauty is oh, I don't remember her last name. Jess, it may be Hunt. She's from the UK, and she started her own makeup brand, which is awesome. And this was her first product. So if you know anything about her, her eyebrows are amazing and they always look perfect. And so she designed something to help us all try to have eyebrows like her. And if you just look at the difference between both eyebrows, I feel like this side just looks like it's a little not as evened out and pulled down, and this side just looks a little bit more even, and just that it has more of a shape to it. So doing the same thing to the other eyebrow. That's kind of the set, the base, I guess, not the set. And then the next thing I do is my eyebrows. So for an everyday eyebrow look, I try to find little palettes like this, because we all know we buy these big palettes and we use like 2 colors in the palette, and then we never use any of the other colors again. It's kind of a waste of our money. So right now I'm using, it's PYT Beauty. I don't know if that's pronounced or not. If it was, it would be Pit, and that's a little strange to me, but it's the Warm Lit Nude Mini, and I love these colors. These are the colors you want to look for everyday look. I always do like a lighter brown, a darker brown, and then some types of shimmer. So this is a gold shimmer, and this is kind of more of a pink. Sometimes I do the pink in the corner first and then the browns. That's fun. Or you do the browns and you can put the pink on top. There's so many options, but today I'm going to do my most repeated look, and that will kind of get you an idea of how I kind of use it every day. The first thing I do is I want to get a powder all over my eye. After I feel like I've gotten it everywhere, I do start concentrating it in the corners, because that's kind of going to be where I'm going to work with the rest of, well, the most of my eyeshadow. So you can kind of see that there's some definition being built. You can also see that the shine has gone away because I have blended it out all over here, and I still haven't done anything on this side. I am one to do my eyelids at the same time, so I tend to do them together instead of, you know, some people do all of one and then all of the other. That's not really the way I do it. So you're gonna watch me do it together, and then we'll come back. So I feel like I have a good base with this lighter brown color. And so then I always take the darker brown. Browns are good every day because they're just not harsh. Try not to get the dark too far over. You can see in this eye I've come a little bit further to the center than I wanted to. Try to keep it in the corners as much as possible. If you feel like you've gotten too much, just kind of blend it with your finger, or you just go back in with the lighter color, and that helps as well. This is already building into a look that I love for every day. The last thing I do, which is not necessary, but something that pops your eye a little bit, is using one of the shimmers, or you could use both of the shimmers. I'm going to use both just to show you how to use the whole palette, because like I was saying before, we want to be able to use our whole palette. We don't want to only buy a palette because we only like 2 colors. You want to like all the colors in the palette, and honestly see that you're going to be using them. Stop spending $50 on a palette for 4 colors knowing you're not going to use the rest. So anyways, I'm going to use this pink, and I think this pink will look really good. It's like a pinky shimmer. I think that will look really good on the lid. So I got a slightly smaller brush, and I'm just putting this pink on the lid. Sometimes shimmers actually go on better with your finger, so you can put some on your pinky finger and just pat. I do want to show you how to use all of the palette, so I am going to use this sparkle color, get an even smaller brush, and all I'm going to do is put it right in the corner. So by doing that, that's just going to brighten up your eye a little bit. I still can't see it, so I'm going to use my finger again. There we go. So you can see the difference. There's not glitter on this side, a little bit on that side. So that is the eye look for the eyeshadow part of it. It was only 4 colors. It was pretty quick, and only one little tiny small palette. I love Ipsy because I get a lot of these palettes in my Ipsy bags, and that is really helpful because that I'm not even, I mean, the Ipsy bag's $12. I'm not even paying really for this eyeshadow. So that's my tip on eyeshadows. So in your makeup bag, you want to have a nice sunscreen, you want to have a nice foundation and concealer, and then the next thing is that the eyeshadow. So we did that. I also think mascara is very pertinent to a makeup look. I actually do a 2 mascara look, but I'll show you those 2 mascaras, and then we'll talk about why I do 2 of them. It's not necessary. So the 2 they're both Maybelline, the Sky High and then the Lash Sensational. I love both of these together because the Sky High combs out your eyelashes to where I feel like I can see every single piece of hair, and so it fans it out really nicely and makes it kind of look like that fake eyelash look that everyone likes right now, but it's your real lashes. And then the Maybelline Lash Sensational is also really great because it kind of does that, but it's thicker, so you can kind of thicken up the lashes. So this is a little wet, a little more thick. So I don't like doing this step alone because it right away when I put it on my lashes, it clumps them up. I don't want clumping right away. So I start out with the Sky High. Now, once again, keep telling you, I want everything to be more simplified and want this to be your everyday look. So that means that you could just use one of these. You do not have to use both, but I have just found that I like them both together. So not necessary. So I just go in, and normally I have my hair pinned back, and I make sure that I'm wiggling a little bit at the root. What that does, you wiggle a little bit at the root, it separates the lashes so that you can be sure that it spreads each one of your eyelash hairs out. If you want it to be a little bit thicker, you can use any really type of more volumizing mascara. This one has a nicer little, the wand is curved as well, whereas the Sky High, it's a little bit more straight. So I like to let this dry out a little bit because it can just be really, really wet and intense right away. But if I want my lashes to look thicker, I just add this on top, and I just think it makes them pop a little bit. I really like both of them, so I'd highly recommend one of them being your solo mascara if that's something that you like. So we have eyes now, and they're looking good, and they've got nice definition to them. Bronzer is the next step, in that I use this Fenty Beauty one. You do not need to spend the money for the Fenty Beauty. It is a great bronzer, but there are a lot of bronzers that are similar price, better price points, and very similar in formulation. One that I would recommend is the Physicians Formula that everyone's talking about. This does the same thing. The reason I have it is because I just wanted to try it out. I always start really high on my cheeks. Make sure you blend, but I find that what that does is it brings my face up a little bit. I have rounded cheeks, and so I don't want, what am I saying? I don't want to look even more round, so this kind of lifts a little bit. I also put some around my forehead. So you also want to bring it down. I just do a quick underneath my chin and on the other side as well. But that is what I do with bronzer, pretty quick step. And then the next step is a blush. And so for the blush, I use this Flower Beauty Blush Balm. If you've watched any of my videos, I feel like I use it maybe 90% of them. It is, the color I'm using right now is Pinched. I really like another color, which is more of like a salmon color, and it is a nice cream. It's not super pigmented. It's buildable, but it also gives you a nice glow as well. I put that right on the cheek, but you do want it to blend up into your bronzer. And so that's what I'm doing. You can just see a little bit of difference in the coloring of my cheek on each side. So it's not this like bright, blushy, crazy color, but remember, we're just doing everyday looks where we just want to make sure that we feel put together. This is almost the finished look. You probably can guess the last thing we want to do is a nice nude or neutral lip. I have a bunch of lips like this is sitting on my desk, a bunch of little lipsticks, but these are very pink, and I guess the one I'm using is going to be kind of pink, but they're a little darker. Lip glosses are really great. I love lip glosses for work because I can just bring it in my purse and just reapply it, and I don't feel like I'm always putting on a ton more color. So just depending on your preference, pick a neutral lip. We're going to finish off with this. It's kind of a matte. It's an Aveda liquid color balm, and so this is what it looks like, and it's in the color Desert Blossom. So it's a very nice neutral. It's just a little bit darker than the color of my lips, which is what you're looking for a neutral lip. That is my simple, everyday, just everything I think you would need in a makeup bag. So if you do not know what kind of makeup you would like, I would suggest going and buying these products that I have suggested in terms of the foundation and blush and everything, and not trying to fill your makeup bag up with too much, because you really don't need that much on a day-to-day basis. If you're someone really into makeup and you're wearing different types of makeup every day, then that makes a little bit of sense. But I just feel like when we're watching Instagram and YouTube, we're inundated with so many makeup users that use so much makeup and their whole wall is covered in makeup. So then we feel like we need that much makeup, but we don't actually. I mean, even with the products I've shown here today, you can get 5+ makeup looks out of those products. So make sure you are spending your money wisely, but really having fun with makeup and using it to enhance the beauty that you already are. That is my makeup bag look. Here is everything that I used in my makeup bag. I will be linking everything that I used below, including this cute little bag that my husband got for me off of Amazon. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and push the like button and the notification button, and look for more videos from me in the future. Have a good day. Bye.